The G-Men. That's right. New York Football Giants. We're going back to the tri-state. Another schedule breakdown for you here on the Flex Zone. Nobody is giving you what we're giving you here. Nobody is breaking down each team on the road to the start of the NFL regular season and giving you win-loss predictions. A fun exercise. Doing it just for you, Flex Zone family. If you're new here, go ahead and strip sack that subscribe button. Hit stick and tackle that thumbs up. Blitz that bell and let me know how you're feeling about the Giants, NFL teams that you want me to cover. Let me know. Record prediction, what games you're looking forward to. Let's do it. NFL season is less than 4 months away. We are rolling along, and we're going to give you all we got each and every time in front of this camera here on YouTube. And we get to the New York Football Giants looking to compete in the ever tough black and blue NFC East. We appreciate you being here. Like I said, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Hit the thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Let's get to the Giants. I like what they did in the draft as well. I loved Abdul Carter. He was maybe my number one player, even over Travis Hunter, personally, just because that pass rusher is just we've seen with the Eagles what that can do for a team. Having that guy at pass rush can really make your team become Super Bowl caliber. And the Giants know as good as anybody how important a front four, a pass rush, defensive linemen, outside linebackers are. And they got Abdul Carter. They knocked it out of the park. Pretty much fell to their lap. Then they traded back in and got Jackson Dart. I like that pick. It seems like he's on the right trajectory. You got Russell Wilson to start the season. You got Seamus James, Martin Luther Winston to motivate and give you the pep game and pregame speeches and maybe come in and throw some interceptions. And Tommy Chicken Cutlet DeVito. So you got four QBs. You're not going to keep all four, but Jackson Dart doesn't have to get thrown into the fire. He probably doesn't have to get thrown in the fire for a while. And I'll kind of look at the schedule and see where that could be because I think we'll see Russell Wilson, we'll see Jameis Winston, we'll see Tommy DeVito, and Jackson Dart all for the New York Giants this season. Tyrone Tracy, wonderful draft pick. Still got Devin Singletary. You get Cam Scatterbo in the draft as well. I love that pick. Malik Neighbors, can I be your neighbor? He is as good as anybody. We talked about him, Brian Thomas, some of the best rookies in the NFL. I think he broke the rookie reception record. Darius Slayton is back. The receiver position is lacking a little bit outside of Malik Neighbors. That's why people were like, oh, well, Travis Hunter would be great. It would have been nice. But Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger, tight end position, we'll see. The offensive line is kind of a work in progress still, and it's been like that for the last 4 or 5 years. Andrew Thomas, John Runyon, John Michael Schmidt, Greg Fulton, Jermaine Illuminor. Yeah, the O-line is still pretty trash, not gonna lie. But the defense was injured last year. Their defense has some good pieces as well. I think they have some guys. Dexter Lawrence will be back, one of the best D linemen in the league. Brian Burns, he's really, really good. You got Bobby Okikere, he's good. Micah McFadden, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, they picked up his 5th-year option. Tyler Nubin, Javon Holland, a wonderful signing. I'm telling you, Giants fans, you are going to love Javon Holland at the free safety. He's going to make plays that you're going to make you jump up out your seat and look at your screen like, we made a good pick with that one. So, yes, you may have lost Saquon, which was goofy, but you did get some good pieces. Deontay Banks, hoping for a big year from him. Maryland guy, I'm rooting for him. Drew Phillips as well. Let's look at the schedule. Let's get into it. Let's not waste too much time. Appreciate you guys again being here. Let's look at the schedule. We got week 1. They go to Landover and play the Commanders. That's a 1 p.m. game. I think they lose that. Then they go to Dallas. Now, they actually do sometimes beat Dallas. Not going to lie, but Dallas has kind of owned them as of late. So I'm going to say Dallas wins. They start 0-2. Then they get Kansas City and the Chargers in back-to-back home games. Man, talk about a gauntlet to start the season. At the Commanders, at the Cowboys. Divisional games, so those could go either way. But Chiefs, Chargers, 2 AFC West powerhouses back-to-back. The Sunday night game is a 8:20 on NBC, then a one on CBS. I think they start 0-4, unfortunately. Didn't know the first 4 games were this brutal. I don't look at the schedules before I come on here. I kind of do it as an exercise with you guys, so I appreciate you. At New Orleans, week 5 will be their first win. I think they get to 1-4. I don't know what the Saints are doing, and I'm going to get to them probably soon, but I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. So I think the Giants will go to New Orleans. Going down to New Orleans, Giants fans, have a good time on Bourbon Street. Turn up and go get a victory. So I think you start 1-4. Then you get Philly at home. 8:15 Prime Video. short week. You know what? I'm gonna say they beat the Eagles. I think they get one against the Eagles. I said the Eagles would go about 11-6. I think the schedule is a little tougher than people think, but I think they're still the class of the NFC. But I think they can maybe get got. So I'm gonna say they start 0-4, then they win two in a row. So they get to 2-4. But then they got to go to Denver the next week, 2-5. Then they got to go back to Philly, 2-6. Then they host the 49ers. I think they lose that. I'm gonna say 2-7. Then they go to Chicago, 2-8. Do they beat Green Bay at home? I'm gonna say they beat Green Bay at home, get to 3-8. I'm gonna say they win one of those games. They get to 3-8. Then they go to Detroit, 3-9. Then they get New England again. I'm gonna say 3-10. A late week 14 bye, by the way. And I think at 3-10, could Brian Daboll be fired? Well, he's probably dead coach walking anyway, but 3-10, that would not be the start they want. But I don't see much better than maybe 3 or 4 wins through the first, 13 games. So I'm gonna say 3-10. Then they host Washington. I'm gonna say they win. It's off a bye, so I'm gonna say 4-10. Then they get Minnesota at home. I'm gonna say they get 5-10. I'm gonna say they get the win, 5-10. Then the last two games at Vegas and then Dallas to end the season. I think they get. I said kind of to some friends I know that are Giants fans. I think y'all get 5 or 6 wins. So I'm gonna go 6. I think they win one of the last two games, Vegas or Dallas. I think they beat Washington and Minnesota after the bye. I actually think if they can right the ship, if they can develop, and this is maybe where we see Jackson Dart, kind of like I said in the beginning, maybe around a week 15 after a bye, when you've gone through Russell Wilson for 7 or 8 weeks, you've gone through Jameis Winston, you don't know what injuries could happen. Maybe Tommy DeVito sees the field, like I said. Then we could get to a situation where you bring him out after the bye, he's set for most of the season. You got Washington division foe, Minnesota NFC team you're going to have to get over. At Vegas, not going to be easy. A lot of Raiders fans, I'm sure, will make that trip in what is that going to be? The end of December. So that's going to be fun. And then the flex game against Dallas is always fun. We don't know what Dallas might be playing for as well. So I think they get to 6. I say they get to 6-11. They have a really tough schedule to start, a lot of tough games, but I think they'll be 3-10, but they could win 3 out of the last 4 and get to 6-11 just to salvage the season, maybe build some momentum for next season, and we can see Jackson Dart for 4 games, maybe start and see what he can be. And I think Abdul Carter will be potentially your defensive rookie of the year. I think he could get double-digit sacks potentially, and it would not surprise me having Dexter Lawrence there. You have to account for him. Tyrone Tracy, Malik Neighbors are kind of your offense, but this team struggles with in the trenches on the offensive side. The offensive line and the skill position outside of Neighbors and Tracy leaves a lot to be desired. But I think defensively, they'll be in a lot of games, but I think they just won't be able to hold up the long term with this offensive line, which I think they have to improve next offseason. I think that's one thing they have to improve, especially if they're going to go forward with a Jackson Dart and having who they have. Because, like I said, the defense is pretty solid. They got guys who can get after quarterback, guys who can set the edge, guys who can push the pocket. Maybe they can use another piece in the secondary. I love Javon Holland, but until they fix that offensive line, I don't think they have really much to hang their hat on. Like I said, they'll probably be looking for a new coach. They'll probably be looking for a new GM. We'll see what happens there. But I'm gonna go 6-11. I think they win 3 out of their last 4, and they build momentum. Now, could they still end up with a top 10 pick in the draft? Yes, but I think they may have their quarterback in Jackson Dart, hopefully. And defensively, they got a lot of good pieces. Abdul Carter, amongst others. Avon Thibodeau going into his 5th-year option. They got to get another weapon on the outside, and they got to get some offensive line help. At least 2 linemen to help solidify this offensive line. They need a right tackle. They could use another. They could use a right and a left tackle maybe. They might could use 2 tackles and a guard or something. But I think they're 4th in their division, but they will be competitive. I think they'll win maybe 2 games in the division. I think they win 3 out of the last 4. That first 13 weeks is going to be interesting. They got a late bye. That's when we could see Jackson Dart maybe week 15. But I think that they get to 6-11, and we'll see what they are in 2026. I think they could be a team maybe that could eventually rise up to that 8-9 wins. But we'll see. Giants fans, let me know your thoughts. I'm going 6-11. Love what they did in the draft. So we'll see what happens. If those players come in and play like I think, though, they could win, like I said, 5-6 minimum. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. God's favorite host right here on the Flex Zone. Your home for professional sports, the NFL. Only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. Let me know what team you want to see next. Hit the subscribe button. hit the like button, hit the bell. Let me know your thoughts. We want to hear from you, you, and you. So we appreciate you being here. We'll see you with more schedule breakdowns on the Flex Zone podcast. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a great day.